It's fun time.
Episode 60, got a great question today on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram right now at YouGoProBaseball. On the Snapchat, I'm John Madden 1882. I'm private on Instagram, so you're going to have to go friend me and then I'll accept you or whatever. But I've been posting a lot of great stuff over there, okay? But I got a really good question. I like this question from Instagram today, and it's from Aaron Fields. And he says, "Hey, Coach Madden, I had a question about pitching mechanics. When you are in your stride, right after you push off the rubber with your foot, is it essential that you drag your back foot on the dirt? I've seen some guys that don't drag their foot and have good high velocity, but I'm not sure if that's just their natural mechanics or something they picked up. And if it's essential to drag your foot, can you slow your velocity down some degree?" No, you're not going to slow your velocity down. And I don't want to say it's essential, but for me, it's something I look for in guys because that tells me how much leg drive they're getting, right? If they're getting real good drive, then they're going to have more drag, okay? Guys who don't drag as much and still throw fast, they're more rotational pitchers, so they're very rotational. They're still getting good hip to shoulder separation, and we still want that if we're getting good linear movement, good leg drive. We still want good hip to shoulder separation. So my point of the matter is you can do both, okay? Even though those guys are more rotational, they could probably get more out if they had more drive, okay? Because think of pitching as energy, and it starts at the ground, right? When we push away from that rubber, we're actually trying to push that rubber or that ground, that the earth away from us. But since we can't do that, there's an equal and opposite reaction the other way, and that's why we drive this way. And that's where the energy starts, that ground force. It starts right there, right? So if we can take that energy and drive it forward and then get into a good separation, hip to shoulder separation, and keep transferring it up our kinetic chain, and then we're very optimal in our hip to shoulder separation, now we've transferred all that energy up and we've got that stored there, and we can unwind in the core, that elastic energy, right? So the answer is you need to do both. You don't want to just be a rotational guy, and you don't want to just be a linear guy. You want to have both, and you want to have good timing and be able to transfer that energy from the ground all the way up through the body and out through the arm. That's your goal. So to answer your question specifically, drag line is important to me, at least when I'm looking at pitchers, because that tells me how much linear energy they're getting, how much leg drive they're getting. So that's very important. I don't have a King of the Hill here with me, but I use King of the Hill with my guys all the time. I'll leave a link where you can check that out below. But it's very important. So I'm looking for probably about 6 to 8 inches of drag line for a good drive, okay? Now, stride length will determine that as well. So if you got a guy who's got good leg drive but doesn't have a huge stride, his drag line might not be as long, okay? But a guy who has a longer stride and good leg drive will definitely have a lot more drag to it. Also, one thing I see too sometimes is at release point, guy's foot will be up in the back. It won't be on the ground. It still won't be on the dirt, and that's okay. Some guys think that's not good, that you still want to be down. It's okay if your foot is up a little bit, okay? But you don't want it too much to where you're at release point and that foot is already like up and coming over, because then you're too close. You don't have enough separation, okay? I hope that answers your question. I might have to make a video about another video about this where I'm outside explaining it, because this is a great question. I appreciate the question. If you guys can leave me more questions like this, more well thought out questions, I would love to answer those. But great job, Aaron. Keep it up. Let me know if you have any other questions. Let me know in the comments below, how big is your drag line, okay? Next time you pitch, I want you to look at it in the dirt and see how long your drag line is, okay? If you go through spikes really quick, like if you don't have a pitcher's toe and you're tearing up your spikes, you're probably doing a good job, okay? If you don't go through spikes that quick, you might want to get a little more leg drive. So leave me a comment below. Let me know how long your drag line is. And then don't forget, go hit me up on the Instagram at YouGoProBaseball, and the Snapchat if you're on the Snap, John Madden 18. 82. I'll talk to you guys over there.